and I am doing teacher training at Rehan School Islamabad campus. So viewers, आज मैं करने जा रही हूँ chat GPT. So let's get started. Hello chat GPT. Hello chat GPT, can you hear me?
You loud and clear. If you have anything you want to talk about or ask, I'm ready to help.
Chat GPT, I have a few questions. May I ask you?
Of course. Feel free to ask any questions you have. I'm here and ready to help out.
Okay, chat GPT, my first question for you is what is self doubt?
Great question. A sat down, or something called a sit down, is just a meeting or conversation that people have sitting together, usually to discuss something important, resolve issues, or make decisions. Is there a particular context you were thinking about?
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is why do people experience self doubt?
So people usually expect to sit down when there's something really significant to discuss, like a big decision, a conflict that needs resolving, or a formal plan that needs to be laid out. Basically, it's about giving everyone a chance to sit down, focus, and have a meaningful conversation without distractions.
How does self doubt affect our daily life?
Yeah, self doubt can actually have a pretty big impact. It can hold us back from taking risks, trying new things, or even just speaking up when we have good ideas. And sometimes it makes everyday tasks feel harder than they would otherwise. But the good news is, it can be worked on.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is what is confidence? Please give me a long answer.
Absolutely. Confidence is essentially a sense of trust in yourself and your abilities. It's that inner belief, challenges, uncertainties.
Hello, ChatGPT, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly well. If you need me to continue or clarify anything, just let me know.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is why is confidence important in life?
That's a great question. Confidence is really important because it gives us the courage to pursue goals, speak up, and take risks, even when we're unsure. It helps us handle setbacks, build resilience, and ultimately, it impacts how others perceive us. People often trust and respond to us more when we show confidence.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is can self doubt stop us from achieving our goals?
Absolutely, yes. Self doubt can be a major roadblock. When we don't believe in ourselves, we might procrastinate, avoid opportunities, or just give up too soon. And that comfort zone is often where the growth happens.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next
Normal and
question.
every,
Yes, yes, please.
of course, good one. Self esteem is basically how we perceive and value ourselves. It's like an overall sense of self worth, how much we respect and appreciate who we are. So it's a bit broader than confidence, which might be more situation specific.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can positive thinking reduce self doubt?
That, yeah, that's a really good point. Positive because it shifts our focus from what we fear or doubt to what's possible and within our control. When we practice positive self talks, and over time, that can really exactly. And as we see ourselves in a more positive light, we become more resilient, take on challenges with more courage, and ultimately, we're more likely to take action to ourselves more and believe that we're capable of handling what's ahead, even when things get tough. So it really becomes a self forcing cycle.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is what are common signs of low confidence?
Yeah, so some common signs of low confidence are things like doubting your abilities, being overly critical of yourself, avoiding challenges or new experiences, or even relying.
Hello, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, listen to me.
Hey, yes, I'm still here if you need anything else or if you want to continue. Yes, absolutely. I'm all ears. Let me know what you'd like to discuss or if there's something specific you need.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is why is self
No problem
belief
at all.
important?
Great question. Self belief is crucial because it acts as the foundation and pursuing your dreams. When you trust yourself, you're more likely to push yourself to your limits.
ChatGPT, please answer me.
Of course. Yeah, so self belief is important because it fuels your motivation, helps you bounce back from failures, and pushes you to take risks. Without it, even small obstacles can feel insurmountable.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is um, how can setting small goals build confidence?
That's a fantastic question. So, when we set small, achievable goals, we give ourselves clear steps to succeed. Each time we reach one, we prove to ourselves that we can do it. And that small success builds momentum, reinforcing a sense of confidence.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is what role does practice play in building confidence?
Practice is really key. The more we practice something, the more familiar and competent we become. Each repetition reduces anxiety, and over time, that confidence grows because you know you've handled it before.
Can learning new skills reduce self doubt?
Absolutely. When we learn skills, it broadens our sense of capability. Each new thing we master reminds us that we can grow, adapt, and tackle more challenges, which naturally boosts self confidence.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can mistakes help us grow?
That's a really important point. Mistakes are actually valuable because they give us feedback. When something goes wrong, we get a chance to reflect, learn what didn't work, and adjust our approach. So over time, that makes us more resilient and more skilled.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question.
Exactly. And when we reframe, of course, go ahead with your next question. I'm ready to help.
Yes, my next question for you is why should we not fear failure?
That's a great question. We shouldn't fear failure because it's really just a part of the learning process. Every failure gives us a chance to grow, adapt, and come back stronger. It doesn't define us, it actually refines us.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can self talk affect confidence?
Yeah, self talk plays a huge role. If we're constantly telling ourselves negative things like I can't do this or I'll fail, it really chips away at our confidence. But when we practice positive self talk, reminding ourselves of our strengths, it reinforces a more confident mindset.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is what is positive self talk?
Great question. Positive self talk is basically the practice of intentionally encouraging and affirming yourself with kind, constructive thoughts. Focusing on what you can mindset.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can gratitude improve confidence?
That's a really powerful connection. When we practice gratitude, we start to focus on what we already have and what we're doing well, which counters self doubt. It helps us recognize our strengths, giving us a deeper sense of confidence in who we are.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can journaling help overcome self doubt?
That's a great one. Journaling helps because it gives you a space to process your thoughts and recognize patterns in your self doubt. When you write down your fears, it helps you grow.
Yes, ChatGPT, please answer me.
Of course. Yeah, by consistently journal you can spot those negative patterns, reframe them, and over time, that self awareness really helps you build confidence.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is why is Partiness, important and personal growth.
That's a really important one. Being kind, we're more forgiving of mistakes, we build resilience, and we stay motivated to keep improving, even when exactly. And when we approach ourselves with kindness, we're more open to learning and we give ourselves permission to grow without constant self criticism.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can sportive friends increase confidence? Please give me a long answer.
Absolutely. Positive friends play a huge, of course. Positive friends are so important because they encourage us and remind us of our worth, even when we forget. When we have a circle of confident, uplifting people, we start to internalize that and they remind us that we're not alone in our struggles. So over time, their belief in us helps us believe in ourselves, which really strengthens our confidence from the inside out.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is where should we avoid comparing ourselves to others?
That's a really important point. We should avoid comparing ourselves to others because it distorts our. Yeah, exactly. Everyone is on their own journey with different time. Right. And when we compare ourselves, we undervalue our own progress. Exactly. And that can really drain our confidence. Instead,
Yes, please give
our
me
own,
answer, please.
of course. So instead of comparing ourselves to others, we should focus on our own growth, our own progress, and what we're achieving step by step. This keeps us grounded in our unique strengths and builds lasting confidence.
How can social media affect confidence?
Yeah, social media can have a big impact. It often shows us curated highlights of other people's lives, which can make us feel like we're not measuring up. On the flip side, if we use it mindfully, focusing on connection rather than comparison, it can also be a source of inspiration.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is what is the role of mindset in confidence?
Mindset is really foundational, where you believe you can improve with effort, helps you see challenges as opportunities. When you approach things with a positive growth oriented mindset, you're far more likely to trust yourself and take confident action.
How can we change negative targets?
That's a really good question. We can start by becoming more aware of them, catching those negative thoughts as they arise, and then consciously reframe them. So instead of saying, I can't do this, you might say, get better with practice, or I'm capable of learning this.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is self is
Good
important.
question. Self doubt. Exactly. Self doubt is that inner voice that questions our abilities or worth. It's a natural feeling, but it can really hold us back if we let it, which is why it's so important to recognize it and work through it with compassion.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can learning from criticism help us grow?
That's a really powerful idea. When we learn from gratitude, we shift our focus to what's going right. It trains us to see progress, small wins, and possibilities. That perspective boosts resilience, helps us appreciate our journey, and ultimately builds confidence to keep going.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is why should we celebrate summer achievement?
That's a great one. Celebrating achievements is reinforces how far we've come. It gives us a sense of progress, boosts motivation, and helps us build momentum for future goals.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can daily habits build confidence?
Yeah, daily habits are really powerful because they create consistency. When we set small positive routines like practicing a skill, affirmations, or even just showing up daily, we prove to ourselves that we can be trusted. And that trust builds confidence over time.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can reading motivational motivation books help?
That's a great question. Motivational books can really expand our perspective. They introduce us to new ways of thinking, give us practical strategies, and remind us that others have overcome challenges. So, by internalizing those lessons, we build confidence in our own ability to grow.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is where is self care important for confidence?
That's important because when we well being, we feel more balanced and grounded. That inner stability makes us more resilient, so we trust ourselves more, which naturally boosts confidence.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can exercise improve self confidence?
Yeah, absolutely. Exercise is really powerful because it releases endorphins, which boost our mood, and it also helps us feel more in control of our bodies. As we get stronger or more capable, we start to feel more confident in other areas of life too.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is how can good posture affect confidence?
That's a great question. Good posture really changes how we feel about ourselves. When we stand or sit up straight, we project confidence, and it actually sends signals to our brain that we feel more capable. So even if we don't feel confident at first, improving our posture can help us start to feel it.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is where is communication important for confidence?
That's a big one. Communication is crucial because when we express ourselves clearly and assertively, we reinforce to ourselves that our voice matters. It also helps us connect with others, get feedback, and build trust, all of which are key components of confidence.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question for you is
Of course. Ahead with your next question. I'm ready. Problem. Just like to ask next, and I'll be happy to.
okay. Okay.